Today we're exploring Hinduism and Islam side by side. We'll highlight the key aspects and differences of these two rich and fascinating faiths. My job is to share the information. What you take away is entirely up to you. If you're curious to learn more about these unique religions, stay tuned, let's jump right in. Hinduism, which stretches back an astonishing 5,000 years to around 3000 BC, is like a rich, colorful tapestry woven over millennia. It embraces a vast array of beliefs, traditions, and practices that have grown and evolved through the ages. On the other hand, Islam, born in 610 AD, offers a more focused and unified framework of faith, deeply rooted in the Quran and the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad. This significant time gap highlights why Hinduism carries a deep, intricate web of theology and philosophy, while Islam, though younger, shines with its clear and streamlined structure. Hinduism's fascinating concept of the Trimurti, featuring Brahma the creator, Vishnu the preserver, and Shiva the destroyer, beautifully represents the cosmic cycle of creation, preservation, and destruction. In contrast, Islam emphasizes the purest form of monotheism, with all these divine functions united in Allah, the one and only God. This difference showcases a striking contrast in how each faith envisions and understands the power and nature of the divine. In Hinduism, the story begins with Manu and Shatarupa, the first humans created and guided by Brahma. Similarly, in Islamic tradition, the journey of humanity starts with Adam and Hawa, brought to life and guided by Allah. Both stories introduce key lessons about human responsibility, the relationship between humans and the divine, and the moral values that shape their paths. These narratives serve as powerful foundations for the beliefs and teachings in their respective faiths, offering timeless guidance on how humans are meant to live and connect with the divine. The Vedas, the oldest and most sacred text in Hinduism, are a treasure trove of hymns, rituals, and deep philosophical teachings, reflecting the richness of ancient wisdom. On the other hand, the Quran, cherished by Muslims as the direct word of God, stands as a unified and complete guide, covering every part of life, social, political, and spiritual. This contrast highlights the Vedas' diverse and expansive nature, while the Quran offers a clear and focused roadmap for living a meaningful and righteous life. In Hinduism, the mandir is more than just a place of worship. It's a vibrant hub for cultural and social activities, bringing communities together for celebrations, learning, and connection. Similarly, in Islam, the mosque is not only a sacred space for prayer, but also a center for community life, reflecting the shared values of unity and togetherness. Despite their differences in architecture and rituals, both the mandir and mosque highlight the deep bond between faith and community in their traditions. In Hinduism, the pujari, and in Islam, the imam, both serve as spiritual leaders, guiding their communities with wisdom and care. Whether it's performing sacred rituals, leading prayers, or helping interpret holy scriptures, their roles highlight a shared human need for spiritual direction and connection. These leaders, though from different traditions, embody the universal quest for faith, understanding, and guidance in every culture. In Hinduism, puja is a heartfelt act of devotion where offerings are made to deities. It can range from simple rituals at home to elaborate ceremonies, reflecting the rich diversity of local traditions and practices. In contrast, Salah in Islam is a structured form of worship with specific physical movements and Quranic recitations performed at set times each day. This disciplined practice creates a regular and deeply personal connection with the divine. While puja embraces variety, Salah emphasizes consistency, showcasing two unique paths to spiritual devotion. In Hindu tradition, namaste is a warm and respectful greeting that means, I bow to the divine within you, honoring the sacredness in every person. Similarly, in Islamic tradition, assalamu alaikum translates to peace be upon you, offering a heartfelt wish for peace and well-being. Hinduism's focus on recognizing divinity in others, and Islam's emphasis on spreading peace and harmony in relationships. Hinduism, with around 1.2 billion followers, is deeply rooted in India and Nepal, reflecting its strong cultural and regional ties. In contrast, Islam, followed by nearly 2 billion people, is spread across the globe, showcasing its widespread acceptance and adaptability to diverse cultures and regions. This difference highlights Hinduism's deep connection to its origins and Islam's remarkable reach as a global faith. India is home to the largest population of Hindus, while Indonesia boasts the biggest Muslim community in the world. These regional concentrations reveal how history, politics, and culture have played a major role in shaping the growth and practices of these two religions. Each country's unique context has helped mold the way these faiths are lived and experienced today. Varanasi, known as the spiritual heart of Hinduism in India, is where sacred rituals like the arti and cremations take place, each carrying deep spiritual meaning. Similarly, Mecca in Saudi Arabia, the holiest city in Islam, is the destination for the annual pilgrimage, Hajj. Both cities are more than just places, they represent the profound historical, spiritual, and emotional connections their followers have to their faiths. These sacred sites are living symbols of devotion, drawing millions who seek to deepen their spiritual journey. Diwali, celebrated by Hindus as the Festival of Lights, represents the triumph of light over darkness, a time of joy and new beginnings. On the other hand, Eid al-Adha in Islam honors the story of Prophet Abraham's willingness to sacrifice his son in obedience to God's will. Although the core themes of these festivals are different, both bring communities together in celebration. Through acts of charity, communal prayers, feasts, and family gatherings, they strengthen bonds and highlight shared values of love, sacrifice, and togetherness. In Hinduism, Swar is seen as a temporary heaven-like realm where righteous souls go before they are reincarnated. In contrast, Jannah in Islam is a permanent, eternal paradise granted to the righteous in the afterlife. While both ideas inspire people to live ethically, they offer different perspectives on the soul's ultimate journey and destiny. These concepts reflect the unique views each faith holds about life after death and the rewards for living a good life. In Hinduism, Naraka is a fiery realm, burning with intense red flames, where souls face suffering and purification for their sins before they are eventually reborn. In contrast, Jahannam in Islam is a dark and terrifying place, filled with black flames, where the wicked face eternal punishment. While both places are associated with justice for wrongdoing, they offer different views on the consequences of evil actions and the soul's fate. In Hinduism, Rakshasas are powerful, demon-like beings that disrupt the cosmic order, much like the Shayateen in Islam, who are devils that try to lead humans off the righteous path. Both of these figures represent the forces of chaos and evil, challenging the balance of good and creating obstacles for people on their spiritual journeys. In Hindu epics, Ravana, the demon king, represents the destructive power of ego and desire, showing how these can lead one astray. Similarly, in Islam, Iblis symbolizes defiance and pride, as he refused to obey God's command. Both figures serve as powerful warnings, teaching us the dangers of letting these negative traits guide our actions and encouraging us to stay true to the path of righteousness. In Hindu mythology, Bhutas are spirits of the dead, while in Islamic belief, jinn are supernatural beings made from smokeless fire. Both represent beings from unseen worlds, highlighting a shared understanding of a reality beyond human perception. In Hinduism, celestial beings called devas uphold the divine order, similar to Malaika, or angels in Islam, both acting as intermediaries between God and humans. They represent the continuous cosmic order, emphasizing the shared belief in a well-structured universe governed by divine powers. In Hinduism, Apsaras, celestial nymphs, are graceful beings linked to beauty and nature, often interacting with humans. Their counterparts in Islam, the Huris, are promised as beautiful beings to the righteous in the afterlife. Both symbolize reward and virtue, highlighting each religion's focus on righteousness and piety. In Hinduism, the bird-like Garuda is a deity often seen as Lord Vishnu's mount, representing power and nobility. Similarly, in Islamic tradition, Burak is a miraculous steed that carried Prophet Muhammad during his night journey, symbolizing divine help and spiritual ascent. King Ashoka, remembered for his reign of righteousness in Hindu history, mirrors the respect for Sultan Mehmed II in Islamic history, known for his strategic conquest of Constantinople. Both rulers left lasting impacts on their civilizations, embodying the ideals of just and powerful leadership in their cultures. Bajirao the Firm, celebrated as a remarkable military leader in Hindu history, and Khalid bin al-Walid, honored as a military genius in Islamic history, both embody the heroic ideals of their traditions. Their achievements stand as historical examples of bravery and strategic intelligence in both religions. Aryabhata, a renowned Hindu mathematician and astronomer, made significant contributions to science, including approximations of pi. In contrast, Al-Khwarizmi, a Persian scholar in the Islamic world, is known as the father of algebra, highlighting the major contributions to mathematics from both cultures. The mango, used in Hindu rituals and symbolism as a sign of prosperity and love, contrasts with dates in Islamic tradition, a fruit of great importance, especially during Ramadan when it marks the breaking of the fast. Many Hindus avoid eating beef out of respect for cows, while Muslims steer clear of pork due to dietary laws. This shows how religious beliefs influence dietary choices in both cultures. Ganga-jal, water from the holy river Ganges in Hinduism, is regarded as sacred and purifying. This parallels the Islamic belief in Zamzam water from a well in Mecca, believed to be a gift from God with healing properties. Both serve as powerful symbols of purification and divine blessings in their traditions. The ultimate goal in Hinduism is moksha, liberation from the cycle of birth and death, symbolizing freedom from physical existence and union with the divine. In contrast, Baraka in Islam refers to divine blessings or God's presence in one's life, representing ongoing divine grace and guidance in the earthly journey. Dharma in Hinduism refers to the moral, societal, and cosmic laws that guide humans to live righteously and reach spiritual liberation. In contrast, Sharia in Islam is the legal and moral code that guides a Muslim's behavior in every aspect of life. While both focus on ethical living, Dharma takes a broader cosmic view, while Sharia offers detailed guidance for daily life. Yoga in Hinduism, which aims for spiritual insight and peace through physical poses and meditation, is similar to Dhikr in Islam, a devotional practice that involves repeating God's names. Both practices offer a way to focus the mind and strengthen the connection with the divine, highlighting a shared focus on personal spiritual discipline. Akam in Hinduism is a ritual cleansing process where water is sipped with mantras to symbolize both spiritual and physical purity. Similarly, wudu in Islam is a purification ritual where specific body parts are washed before prayer. Both rituals highlight the importance of purity and preparation for worship. Dana, the act of giving in Hinduism, represents generosity and selflessness. Similarly, zakat in Islam, a mandatory form of charity, embodies social responsibility and helping those in need. Both practices reflect shared values of compassion and support for the community. In Hindu tradition, cremation is seen as an important part of the soul's journey, symbolizing the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. On the other hand, Islamic practices emphasize burial, honoring the deceased with dignity and respect. These rituals highlight how each religion uniquely commemorates and respects those who have passed away. In Hinduism, there is a belief in reincarnation, where the soul continues its journey through different lives. In contrast, Islam teaches resurrection, where each person will be revived for the final judgment. This wraps up our comparison of Hinduism and Islam. We truly hope this video helps build a deeper understanding between followers of both faiths, promoting respect and harmony in today's complex world. The need for more peace and less conflict is more important than ever. Thank you for joining us in this exploration, and be sure to stay tuned for more thoughtful content in the future.